Hola from the west side. It's me, DC the Purple Diva, and it is time for Not So Random Chat. So go grab your coffee, your tea, or whatever your libation is tonight, and let's start to talk about whatever we want to. I'll be right with you guys. Ooh, 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 ooh. Hola! Hey guys! Happy Cinco de Mayo for those who it is still Cinco de Mayo. I am so sorry I am late tonight, you guys. Yes, I am late. I'm so sorry. So sorry about that. But I had to reconnect everything. And I had to figure out how I had it connected. But we're good. We're good. And I figured out how to give y'all the sound effects. Let's see. There you go. So we got sound effects tonight. Now let me just get myself sitting down because, yeah, I've been running around. But 1 second, you guys, just listen to a little music and I'll be right back. I'm coming right back, guys.
Yeah,
Coming right back. All right, I'm back. Now let me put these headphones on me so that I'm not distracted by the echo. Because on my end, I can hear it, you know. But I finally figured it out. So now let me play with it, even though I have stuff to do. But let me play with it a little bit. But first, before I do that, yeah, let me just do my, let me do a little housekeeping. And please like the stream, you guys. Please share it out. I am about to share it out myself. I love this new, hey, Angela. I love this new mic, y'all. I know I sound like I'm in an echo chamber right now. I'll take the echo off of it in a minute, as soon as I figure it out. You know what? I hate my night, but let me fix that, Angela. You won't get timed out again, sis. You know. People wonder why everyone is a mod in my chat. That's because my ride or dies. My Nightbot likes to time y'all out. I don't know what's wrong with Nightbot. Okay, so let me share out the stream. Let me share myself out. Come through for Cinco de Mayo. It's Cinco de Mayo. Even though I am not Mexicano, I have a lot of Mexicano friends. So, it's Cinco de Mayo, the 5th of May. Yesterday was the 4th of May. May the 4th be with you was yesterday. And let me see if I can get some of this, let me see if I can get a little of this echo out of it, the effects. Forget how I put them on there. Let me see. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's still echo, huh? Oh, I know, wait a minute. I gotta get to the right one. All right, yeah, there we go. No echo. Hey, Carol's Coaching Corner. How are you? Happy Wednesday and happy Cinco de Mayo. Yeah, oh wow, this sounds really good tonight. I'm glad I tested it out with you guys last night. Did that quick live last night. Because tonight I can just kind of sit back and figure everything out. I figured out why no one could hear like the special effects. It's because I actually have to have the monitor plugged in so you guys can hear it. So let me just do one that I think is really cute. Where is it? Yeah, here it is. So y'all see, my voice has changed dramatically. I'm just messing with y'all. And this is the female. And this is the monster. I think I'll use this voice if I try to curse, because you won't be able to understand the words. Alright, we're back to my normal voice. I just had to do that. Having too much fun, you guys, with the new mic. It's gonna be a minute of me acting like a kid. I'm sorry. But happy Wednesday, happy Cinco de Mayo to you guys. I hope everybody is having a great week. We are halfway through it. This mic is hot, hot, hot. I think I'm gonna have to get one of those the thing that I use when I'm in the studio. I can't even think of the name right now, but it's what you put in front of your mic to keep it, you know, when you have a hot mic, to kind of keep the popping sounds out. So I think I'm going to need to get one of those. I should have got it when I got the mic, but, you know, I wasn't thinking about it. But I definitely think I'm going to need one, because otherwise you guys are going to just hear pop, 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 pop sometimes. But it is we're 5 days into the month of May. Cinco de Mayo. And tomorrow, in a bunch of counties here in Southern California, we will be going to the lowest tier. Let me just move the mic a little closer. There we go. We will be going to the lowest tier for our crayon color system. We will be going to the yellow tier, which is, I guess, the least restrictive tier before you go to no restrictions other than, I guess, social distancing and wearing the mask. And in the state that I'm in, California, their goal is to have that, I believe, by the middle of June, to go to that. But I think that we will be doing social distancing and wearing, at least in the state that I'm in, we'll be wearing these masks for a little while indoors. They've already pretty much taken a lot of the restrictions off of wearing masks outside, because I guess they now understand that if you're outside with the amount of air, there's not as much of an issue, I guess, with something that's airborne. You know, but of course, you know, this is coming from the CDC, so that's according to them. But I put out a really good short today, and if you did not get a chance to watch it, please, please, please go take a look at it. It was actually just a short giving you, hey 1SP, thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. I am on this new mic today, dude. I'm getting used to it. I like it though, I like it. So I put out the benefits. I put out some of the benefits of amethyst, which is, you know, my birthstone, but it's also a natural gemstone that people mine out of the earth. And it's a crystal like one. It's probably not, it's not as expensive as things like rubies and emeralds, but amethyst is not a cheap stone if it's genuine amethyst. Now, the things that I really like about amethyst is that one of the benefits is that it helps reduce headaches. And one of the things that I personally suffered from for a lot of my adult life are sinus migraines. Hey, Terry. And I can tell you that I don't get sinus migraines as much as I used to. But when I do get them, they're pretty bad. But the amethyst helps to reduce this. Now, it's not going to make them go away because it's something that's in my body. Going on with things in the part of the country that I live in that just drives my sinuses crazy. So the other things that it helps with, it's with calming. It helps with peace, you know, being peaceful, just with stresses. And I mean, I know a lot of people know a lot of things about crystals, and I'm not, you know, getting into the new age part of it, because there are really some natural benefits that the Most High put in all of these beautiful things that are natural on this earth. So crystals are one of the things that they contain energy, and a lot of the and how they produce that energy is by you giving them energy, like, you know, holding them. I know some people sing to them or they talk to their crystals, you know, but it's basically giving them energy. Everything in the entire world is made up of masses of energy, even inanimate objects. And, you know, that's one of the things that in Western medicine we tend to neglect, is all of the natural things that we have. Oh, let me go cut that off, you guys. I was cooking earlier. I forgot all about that, and y'all know I'm in the kitchen. 1 second, guys. Let me stop it. Oh, it did stop. Cool. Everything stopped. All right, guys. Sorry about that. You see how easily I can get distracted? All right, let me put my headset back on so I can hear what you can hear. So, hey son, bring mom her charger for her cell phone. Bring me the charger for the cell phone. My cell phone's about to die, you guys. Hey Sunday, thanks for coming, sis. I saw you earlier in Mr. Black's chat, and shouts out to Mr. Black. He had a really good commentary earlier. You know, he was giving his thoughts about a couple of the things that are going on that people have been talking about. Thank you, son. Let me plug it in so my phone doesn't die, because I'm actually, and I can stay in the chat and not just be on StreamYards. But he was talking about the Ma'Khia Bryant situation, and he made it very interesting. He said people haven't really been talking about it, and you know what? He's right. They haven't really been. They were talking about it, you know, right when it first happened, but less and less we're hearing things in regards to that on YouTube. Let me just put it like that, because people are too busy talking about, KS and all of that. But one of the things that Mr. Black brought up is one of the things that I've often wondered as well. Hey, J-Dog, nice to see you. Is why Makai and her sisters were in CPS in the first place. Why were they in foster care when they had two parents who were around? And granted, we don't know what the situation was, but we do know that in a lot of instances that black parents have their children taken out of their custody more often for no reason. For no reason. Now, I'm not saying that there wasn't a reason in this situation, but it makes you wonder when both of their parents were around. Dad wasn't in jail. He was able to come over there. Why were these girls not with one of their two parents? That's just a legitimate question that has not been answered. No one has really told us that. We know that that Makai had gone to court not too long before her death, and whatever happened in court, she was not pleased with the decision. She was upset about it. She had counted on it going another way, and it could have been possibly that she would have been back in her mom or her dad's custody. I do know a lot of times when parents are trying to get their kids back, and they've done everything that they're supposed to do, that the courts have told them that they're supposed to do, they still don't get their kids. It's really easy for them to take your child away from you and put them into foster care, and it is extremely hard for a parent to get their child back out of that system. So let me see what you're saying, Sunday. Oh, girl, I know, but I had to. I was starving, y'all. I was starving, and I know it's like 1 o'clock in the morning for everybody on the East Coast, and I apologize for being later than normal. I am trying to do some earlier lives. Probably for me would be on the weekend, but you guys know one of the reasons why I don't come on earlier. See, everyone else is doing their lives around 8 and 9 o'clock on the East Coast, but 8 and 9 o'clock on the East Coast is 5 or 6 o'clock where I am, and I am just at that point, because I do actually have a job. YouTube is not my source of income. It's not my main source of income. I get a little bit from here. But, after that, I gotta do things at home. I gotta, do dinner and, make sure my son's taken care of. Make sure that I'm not gonna, get him in a situation where he's gonna be pissed off and have a meltdown while I'm doing the live. So that's the reason why it's later for me. And actually, I'm doing it at a time that's probably not so late for the West Coast. But I always appreciate everybody that comes through that's not in the same time zone as me, because I know y'all lay in bed. Sometimes I have some people who stay in the clouds and they're just laying in their bed listening. But I appreciate you all for coming, and I am going to try to come on earlier, you guys. I swear. I know, Sunday. I'm just trying to, I'm trying to be nice about it, but yeah, it is kidnapping, because the children are being taken out of the parents' custody in many of these cases, without a fair hearing. Because a lot of times all somebody has to do is call and say something stupid or suspect something, and then you're now on the CPS radar. I mean, I told you guys about when my son was younger that a neighbor in the that lived next door, that was renting one of the units next door to my house, called CPS in regards to my son. Now, I don't know if they knew he had autism or not. It doesn't really matter. But the fact is they called CPS and told them a whole bunch of lies. A bunch of big fat lies. Things like my son would be outside at night, nobody would be out there with him, or he would be, be out at all times, day and night. None of which was true. But I had to go through an entire, I think it was like a month of being under, of dealing with CPS. And they wouldn't tell me who it was that called. But the person from CPS, thankfully, knew about children on the autism spectrum and understood that that's what was going on. Additionally, she came by the house like multiple times before she actually came and spoke to me and verified that everything that they had told her in regards to my child was not true. But because it was reported, she still had to follow up on it, and she still had to meet with me. I still had to respond. And then, after 30 days, she said everything's fine and we're done. But yeah, people will call CPS thinking that they're doing the right thing for children in some situations. And I'm not saying that it's not the right situation and, right in some of the situations, but we don't know what happened in this particular situation. And we do know that there are cases where children are taken away from parents who are not out there doing drugs. You see what I'm saying? They're not leaving their kids home alone. There's no abuse. None of that's going on. Yet and still, they still lose their children. And that could be what the situation was with Makai and her sisters, because I think these girls were like I think she might have been the oldest, and her sisters were a little younger than her, but they were like tween and teens. But the whole situation should have never happened. And I do see that, we've had a lot of black people who've been very judgmental about the situation, not knowing the situation, and actually saying crazy stuff like validating that this should have happened to her. It shouldn't have happened to her. And I hope the officer who shot her has nightmares about it for the rest of his life. Not to mention the fact that he needs to no longer be working in police work, and he needs to go to jail. And I hope the family sues the city. All of that. None of that's going to bring this child back. But some type of corrective action has to happen. And I saw on somebody's community wall today that there's another child that was you know, was lynched. Another young girl, a teenage girl, and I also saw, shouts out to Water Sniper. Water Sniper posted up a video today talking about sex trafficking and children being sex trafficked. Now, we don't talk about that much, at least not on YouTube, and it's really not that much brought forth in the actual news, you guys. But you guys do realize that that is the biggest crime syndicate, bigger than drugs in the United States, is human trafficking, specifically of teens, boys and girls. They don't discriminate. And they may be, you know, held in bondage right here in the United States. You guys know about, about the little girl, Elizabeth Smart, the little white girl. And how long was she gone? Wasn't it years? Had what, 3 kids or something? While she was a sex slave for those deranged people. Now that's one story that we've heard about, but you guys, that is not all. A lot of these children who are disappearing, that's what's happening to them. That's what's happening to them. And we really do have to be careful about what's going on in the foster system. Because you think about the fact that that girl and her 3 sisters and her 2 sisters were there, and then former occupants of this foster home were allowed to come in there while these girls were wards of the state. In my opinion, who they were the wards of is responsible for the entire situation. And the 2 ladies and the foster mother all need to go to jail. Because it was reckless endangerment of a minor that resulted in one of those minors' death. You know? And it's sad that people aren't really talking about that much. And when they were talking about it, they would justify it. Like, get the hell out of here with that. There's no justification for that girl being gone. She hasn't even been buried yet. Do you guys realize that? And there's still people talking crap about an honor student. You know? And equating her entire life to how she died. To how she died. That's what they're doing. Now, I know there's a lot of talk going on. Everybody's talking about KS. And there have been pictures floating around of him back, when he was in high school. And, his high school, senior, I guess it was a senior picture. And tells about the clubs that he was in, and so, some people are looking at that as an indication that, he may not be on this side of, he may be playing for the other team. I'm not going to say that would be as much of an indicator to me. I wouldn't even go back to any of that stuff. I mean, that just tells you he wasn't an athletic type of dude. And, you know, he was more into some of the other stuff. But I guess he was like on the dance team. But here's what I know about the guys that were on the dance teams growing, you know, in the time frame that I was. Most of those guys were straight. They were on the dance team so they could get around the girls. So I'm not going to necessarily use how he, you know, what he was involved in high school. I will say that he has made lots of crazy comments that are not backed up by any rational, you know, reasoning, you know, and he is clearly stuck on Eurocentric standards of beauty, you know, and feeds clearly into that whole system, which is really sad because he happens to have a black daughter. So now what does that tell you about how he thinks about his own seed? Because he thinks that we black women are ugly. You know, we don't have a chance of, you know, and our daughters don't have a chance. Unless, of course, we mix, we swirl. I don't have a daughter. I have a son. And I wasn't going to be swirling because I like my son's chocolate skin. Not to mention that I'm with, you know, CB4. y'all remember that? I'm blackity, 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 blackity. That song. I'm blackity, 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 black. Who was that? That was Alan Payne? Yeah. They did that. I know I'm dating myself, but y'all know I'm old. Oh, well, you know, one content creator is saying that they came up with the name Kitten Heels for him, and that everyone else that's using that name is biting off of them. Like, does it really matter if the name fits? You know, how he comes across now. I mean, to me, at the very least, he is very metrosexual. But he doesn't seem to like black women, period. Including the one that birthed him. I'm surprised that he even has a 100% black child. Because, you know, he talks so bad about black women. How the heck did you get with two? You know? That's what I'm wondering. And, you know, he's got his little formula and it's working for him. And my issue is how he's blowing up on the backs of black women. You know, no comment on the men that follow him. Clearly they have issues. Clearly. You know. But his whole intent for any woman that calls into his YouTube channel, to his show, you know, that he's operating like a radio show. You know, this is a little talk show that I do 3 times a week. I did, you know, full-blown radio for years. You know, and I didn't do the call-in format, but, you know, I get what he's doing. But his whole intent, because he sees this is what works for him, is to pull these women in who clearly I'm just shaking my head because I don't know who they're following after and how they're maneuvering their way through life, but they're not listening. If they're listening to any elders, they're not listening to the right elder women. Let me just say that part. Because there's no way in hell that they would subject themselves to the foolery with Mr. Sanders. They just wouldn't do it. But these young ladies do it all the time. And I don't know if they think that I'm going to be the one that's going to be different. Here's the thing. Why would you go and have a man, go talk to a man who wants you to rate yourself, can't choose 7, and he's always going to say that you're a 6 or a 5, but he rates himself a 9. And the foolishness of it all, you guys, is around this dumb term, high value man. Because clearly, they're not talking about high value men, they're talking about high earning men, which is very different. They are not the same. They're not. You have a whole lot of high earning men who are not high value men. They're dusties. And they go around doing dusty behavior. Shall I name a few for you? Tyrese. Who was just on The Masked Singer, you guys? He was RoboCop. Oh, what was it? The RoboPine? Yeah, the RoboPine. That was him. I knew it was him the whole time. Yeah, Tyrese. Who else? Future. And I mean, we can start naming, men in real life, that are not entertainers, but, you have high earning men who aren't of high moral fabric. Hey, Couture, hey, Bree, how are you? Are not of high moral fabric. They're not. And I don't even understand how people are getting it confused. I mean, character speaks volumes. Someone who has good character can pull a lot of women because they're a man of good character. You understand what I'm saying? It means they treat women with respect, and women respect them as well. It's not all about, all these superficial things. Because, you can have the money today and it could be gone tomorrow. So now you're not a high earning man. So where's your worth? There's got to be something else about you. That's what I keep trying to emphasize. But y'all keep listening to this fool. Keep listening to him. Y'all know? Keep listening to the fool. I mean, a lot of those little girls that are in his chat, I'm just like, where is their mama? Where is their daddy? Why are they in this man's chat? Why are they asking this man for advice? And, I don't like to really give him too much attention by saying his name or anything, because it what I see is the more people talk about him, the more fools flock to him. I mean, you can't be mad at the game. You know, I mean, and shouts out again to Mr. Black, because as Mr. Black said earlier today, it's not that he is a big YouTuber in the black sector. He is a big YouTuber, period. There are not that many, there's not all these, you know, lots of YouTubers that are at, you know, pushing towards 1 million, and they've been on the platform, you know, maybe a couple of years, you know. Now, of course, at some point, you know, it's gonna ebb out, because eventually he will be exposed for the fraudulent behavior that he's portraying. You know, and in the meantime, I guess he gives a number of YouTubers content. He gives them content. They have something to talk about because of what he's doing. They do. They are a delusional breed. You know, I mean, here's the thing. You know, like, when I was in my 20s, back in the day, you know, when I was in my 20s, that was in the 80s. You know, y'all know I'm old, okay? That was in the 80s. But 80s and 90s. 80s and 90s. Because I got into my 20s in the 80s, and I entered my 30s in the 90s. So, but when I was in that age range, and I was out there in the dating, you know, field and everything, there were guys that we considered high value guys, but it was based on the total package. It wasn't just based on what they did for a living. Because let me tell you something. A lot of high earners, they're not in these, you know, white-collar professions. You know, they're not in the corporate boardrooms. You know, they may be working in construction, plumbing, even sanitation. Don't get it twisted. Those sanitation workers make a lot of money. Make a lot of money. And most of them usually have what? City benefits, because in a lot of places they work for the city. But my point is that if you're looking for someone who is high value, it's not all about their salary or their potential of salary. It's not about the earnings. It's about the character, the moral structure. You know, now I'm not saying jump out there and, you know, get with someone that you wouldn't be seen with in public if they, you know, did make a lot of money. That doesn't make sense. I mean, but I am saying, don't get with someone, or don't strive for someone based on how much money they make. Because you're going to be sadly mistaken. A lot of these men who make a lot of money, first of all, they're not in their 20s. They're probably in their 40s or 50s. And they don't have time for a relationship while they're making all that money. They're too busy making money. They're working 10, 12-hour days, 7 days a week. Especially if they're a black man. You know? And if they're self-employed. Because let's be real. The majority of the people who make the kind of money that you're talking about don't work for someone else. Not a whole bunch of entrepreneurship in the black community, if y'all haven't noticed. Which is the reason why we have smaller numbers of these high-earning men. We don't have the entrepreneurial spirit anymore. We did, but they burned it out of us. It was called Black Wall Street. As we're coming up on 100 years since Black Wall Street. Now, see, back then, we had generational wealth. Because see, that's the way, that's how you get this, all the, this money, generational wealth. We don't have that anymore. We don't have that. We don't even strive for that. But y'all don't hear me though. We don't strive for that. Me over here, I'm over here trying to figure out how I can have a special needs trust and, make sure that my son has whatever he needs when I'm dead and gone. I am trying to leave him a legacy. But I know I'm in the minority because that's not how we think. We don't think about leaving anything to our children, to the next generation. The way we look at it is, I got mine, they gonna get theirs. They got to do it the same way I did it. That's how we look at it. And I'm not saying that's all of us, because there are some black families that are trying to do that. But what I'm saying is that overall, that's not what we're doing. Hence, we don't have a whole bunch of high earners. And there's nothing that you guys can get on there and listen to that fool. He ain't gonna tell y'all how to do that. Hell, he's still trying to figure it out himself. He's still trying to figure it out himself. Let me see. What sound is this? Let's see. That's the one I wanted. Let's do that again. Exactly. He's a joke. Oh, thank you so much, Burgundy. Thank you so much. You guys, this is one of my new friends. I found her. And she just made it over 1K. She just made it over 1K. And Burgundy, you know why I like you? Because I found out you were from Chicago, which is where my man is from. So, and you have very good commentary, sis. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, let me give you some applause. Thank you. Oh man. It took me a minute to figure that out last night. I couldn't figure that out last night when I was testing it. I could hear the sounds, but it took me until after I got off the live, you guys, for me to figure out that, oh, I need to have an actual speaker here so that they can hear it. So I plugged the speaker in tonight. That's what I did. Let me see what you guys are saying. I appreciate you coming though, sis. I know it's late. Couture she's a night owl. She be hanging with me. I appreciate it though. But that's one of our problems as a people. And I would say, the older teach the younger, but hell, the older don't know. So how are they gonna teach them? That's what the problem is. we really, at this particular point in our history as people, need to figure that out. We need to be planning on leaving for the next generation. We need to stop this BS about I got mine, you gonna get yours. You know? It's sad. And I know a lot of it is built into the DNA of us because of the 400 years, you know? Because of it. I understand that. But we can't. I mean, it's bad enough right now. They're still trying to rewrite history, you know, in regards to the 3/5 rule. We have fools out there, shouts out to DLD, who are trying to imply that the 3/5 rule was to end slavery. Well, we know that's not true. The 3/5 rule was to make sure that black people were not fully represented and were not counted. And it made the South more powerful, utilizing that BS. I'll tell you one thing, I am not 3/5 a person, okay? And neither are you guys. But let's just be real. They have never amended that. So technically, if you are the descendant of slaves, you are considered 3/5 a person, even if they're not saying it to your face. So we'll let that marinate. Y'all know I just be giving y'all dropping stuff, but I just have to say it. It's just, you know, I have to. It's the truth. And, you know, if DOD hadn't dropped that video today, I wouldn't be even talking about it. It would have come out another time, because I always talk about that, because it really bugs me. It really bugs me. See what you guys are saying. I know I'm about to jump off of here. I know I haven't been on here for quite an hour, but I have to go make a run because I have the car and somebody's getting ready to get off work. And I'm not gonna make them catch the bus. So yeah, Deborah. But let me come on camera, you guys, so you guys can see me. Let's get this mouse going over here. Oh, let me move up so you guys can see me. There we go. Yep, this is the mic right here, you guys. It's nice and purple, and I have a speaker over there. Come on, say hi. He heard me saying it. Go and say hi. Say hi. Say hi to the mic. Say hi. All right. Yeah, I don't know how you gonna rub on my forehead when I got on a hat. So, no wig, no hair hat today, you guys. I don't know how women can wear those things every day. I can't do it. So this morning, I got up and I put 4 cornrows in my head. You know, I didn't make them really, really big ones so that I can still put that hair hat on this weekend for the events of the weekend. But I just couldn't. I just, you know, I just couldn't wear it again. So today I have 4 cornrows. See? You can see my hair. And I just have a hat on. But I will be back on. When will I be back on? I will be back on Friday. I'll be back on Friday. maybe I'll have one of her hat on Friday. I don't know. But I will be back on Friday. I am still working on the coffee talk, you guys, and I swear I got to get it out because Black femininity is a hot topic right now, and I want to get my thoughts out there so that I can be part of the conversation in regards to that. So I will finish the voiceover hopefully tomorrow, because hopefully I won't be working late. I worked late tonight. I literally got off work at 9 o'clock my time. That's why I had to push the show back to 10. But I will see you guys on Friday. I will try to come up with some kind of idea for a shirt tomorrow. Today it just came to me about doing the Amethyst one. So I don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow, but y'all will see me. I'll come say hi somehow, and then I'll be back in real time on Friday. So, you know, I appreciate you guys being here. Let me give y'all a little applause. And until Friday, I'll have you guys peace and blessings from the West Side. I'll see you guys. This mic is hot, you guys. It's hot. It's hot. It's hot. It's hot. Let me see. Let me give y'all one more sound effect on my way out.
Thank you for being my friend when I needed one.
Thank you guys. I'll see y'all Friday. Peace.